Jose Santiago.
What did you do, Jose?
I got second place at the Peabody Regional, playing my Spright strategy. Just quick shout out to GNC Collectibles. A new team started by some really good friends of mine. John P. Roman, shout out him. Nick Fernandez, they're doing incredible things. I know incredible things to come in the future, so shout out to the squad. Shout out to my boy YuGiOh for getting his first invite today. Shout out to all my opponents were great. Shout out to Jacob for winning last round, beating me. Shout out to Felix, Rodriguez, Joji Orlando, everyone here. I appreciate it. I'm sure I'll forget to shout out a bunch of people, so I'm sorry if I forget you. You guys are awesome. 3 blue, 3 jet, you have to play these, they're the best cards. 1 red, 1 carrot, 1 pixies. Pixies is really good, because a lot of times they'll want to like threaten battle phase to out elf, and then you just like summon back blue in attack position, search pixies, and now they can't do that. So that's pretty good. This deck is a lot about follow-up. You typically want to end on follow-up and then kill them on the crackback. To coincide, 3 starter, 1 smashers. I almost played 2 smashers, but I didn't want to brick on it. Turn 1, we already play so many hand traps that like it's definitely possible to draw like hand traps and a smasher and it'd be dead, so I only wanted to play 1. I played Diva. I wanted to be able to search hand traps. Tier is typically the only hand trap if they're going to play one is Nibiru. And if you have a blue, you can still play around it. I played some interesting targets as well that I could search off this, so I was happy I played it. 3 swap Ronin. I didn't want to play Duke Frog. Was typically trying to play around Super Quali. This was amazing. This is like the best normal summon because if you summon it with any Spright, you can literally play it through almost like any 2 hand traps. And once you have this, Imperm never matters. The Trickstar cards, these cards are really good. I was playing the deck and I found that a lot of the defensive cards you play never act as like starters as well. So this is a card that acts as an engine piece as far as like you can activate this and get a level 2. And it also acts as a defensive card in some scenarios when you go second. So I like the versatility of it and it was really good all day. And this is a more functional brick because in essence you could just normal summon it, it's a level 2. So it's better to play than some other options out there. 3 Prosperity, this card's insane. Search Flood, search hand traps, search combo piece. It kind of sucks when you go second because you're banishing. Typically when you go first, you want to banish like the Zeus cards, but when you go second, you need those cards to kind of play. So seeing this going second kind of sucks. You always side it out in the mirror because like Toad's going to negate it and then they have a Prosperity. So I played 3 Nib, 3 Crow, 3 Imperm, 2 Ash, 1 Veiler, 1 Bell. I thought these were the most impactful hand traps of the format. These were less impactful and my engine could get to them through like a Diva. I wanted to play 1-1 because typically in the tier matchup, Bell's insane, whereas Veiler can be good, but if you get greedy and like Veiler or Rhino Heart or Veiler or Kit and they chain Poly, you're pretty much out of there. So I never wanted to search Veiler against tier unless I had like these 2 already. But I was typically searching Bell if I already had Ash. And in other matchups, it's just insane as well. But then the last card, this is kind of like what I played over the second Smashers, was a Cosmic. When I was working out the side deck slot, there was a card I wanted to play at 3 that I really couldn't. Unless I took a card out of the side deck, and this was a card I decided to put in the main deck. I never really drew it, never really came up, but it in theory is good. Again, just 1 of in the main deck. People think, once you go through the 1 Smasher, you have no out to mine, so unless you play 2, of course, but yeah, it's there. For extra real quick, 3 Elf, you need it for the grind, Hawk to summon hand traps, Dark to bait everything out and then steal their guys. These cards, literally my favorite card, favorite extra deck monsters. It's just, typically when you go second, everyone just like, they make Zeus, they wipe the board and then they try to Gigantic after. You don't necessarily have to go for Zeus. Zeus is there, I think, only in certain matchups and in certain game states. These cards are basically like Zeus in essence. Like they help you get there, and they're linked too, so you just literally make Gigantic over them, clear a body that's threatening like a carrot or a red, and then you use Gigantic effects. So these cards are just insane. I actually think they're mandatory in the deck. I'm surprised a lot more people don't play them, but they're really good. As for the Link monsters, 2 Gigantic, Toad. This guy didn't really make him much, but Downer, Zeus, Cat Shark, and Onibimaru. There's like questions to cut this because I play Cerberus, but like there's some matchups where you'd rather banish and go for game than pop it. So yeah. And then quickly for the side deck, 1 reboot, card's insane, probably should be banned. 2 anti-spell. The theory behind playing anti-spell over something else was that I played a lot of hand traps for the mirror already. So this wasn't necessarily for the mirror. This was for other matchups. And against tier, if you flip anti-spell in draw phase, you can now resolve Toad and standby, so that like got you follow up. So that was the idea behind that. I played 3 shifter, 1 gamma burst. This was good because against tier, any 2 bodies becomes game if they pass, and if you open multiple sprites, and it just gets even more crazy. This was pretty good. I played Gamma Driver, pretty good, and I want to play 3 cherries. This card was really good. In the mirror match, if you pair it with another low impact hand trap, it gets really good. If they don't open swap, you typically hit Gigantic. If they open swap, then you typically want to hit Elf, and you're gonna win the grind every time. And 1 Resonator. Funny, like about this card, is that I never really won with it in time. I would actually just side this in when I wanted like more engine in my deck. When I wanted another level 2, and I didn't want like a certain hand trap. So funny enough, like I actually just put this in matchups where I just wanted like, yo, can I draw level 2? Let me just draw this. So. Yeah, that's the deck. There was consideration to play the runic cards over like these type of cards because the runic cards are also disruptions and can be starters. But my issue with the runic cards is like if you don't draw 2, they seem pretty weak. And then skipping the battle phase is also it's kind of tough. It's like it's hard to play around and play through. So that's the deck again. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to the team. Appreciate it.
Deuces.
Thank you.